Welcome to Myth Informed. I am here with Milwaukee artist Vincent Van Great, 2017 Milwaukee Radio Song of the Year recipient for A Message. He's with his band Ninja Sauce. He's called the true definition of a musical triple threat. He produces his own records. He sings, he raps over tracks, shows his versatility all the time. He's been appearing on national acts such as with Ludacris, Eric Andre Live, Public Enemy, Lupe Fiasco, just to name a few. And he's also got he's got an album out, Ungrateful, but he's also has a new single out, Hot Shit. Vincent, how are you tonight?
What's up, brother? I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're really, grateful to have you over here. We got Sean in the background.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, brother?
How's it going?
Yeah, our producer, Sean. And then we also have John, who is on Vincent's team.
Yes, sir.
He's sitting in back.
John Cunningham, NFP John.
So, Vincent, we met you. I can't believe it. We, had to think about it here in 2016.
2016.
That's unbelievable how fast that time flies. And we went to Pontiac, Michigan, when we went on Eric Andre Live. How was that experience for you now that you look back on it, almost 2 years?
Man, that was one of the dopest experiences ever in life. Meeting him and being a guest on that show and riding with you guys for fucking countless hours. So it was a dope night, man.
That was really cool. Yeah, I'd say of the 3 nights that we were there, Eric Andre definitely milked you with his time up on stage. He took advantage of you and your talents.
Hey, remember what they said before I went on? Like, the longer you're good, the longer he'll keep you up there.
That's right.
He'll start breaking shit if you're boring. But if you're good, he'll keep you up there longer.
Exactly, man. You gave it back to him too, man. You didn't sit over there like a little punk. You gave it back to him too.
Man. It was fun, man.
Did you talk about his mom?
Man, I told him I banged his mom, bro. Because he told me to bang my mom. I'm like, no, I want to bang your mom, bro.
That was amazing.
We did see him naked like 3 times.
Yeah, like
that was literally
right in our dressing room, ass naked.
Yeah, just butt naked. I remember when he was in the green room and all of a sudden he had a towel on and like, oh yeah.
Well, it's not even that. He came down completely naked, just as confident as can be. Hey, yo, I'm Eric Andre. This is what I do. This is my stuff.
And try to give me a hug and shit.
Try to give you a hug, ain't gonna happen. The picture comes later, and then he goes. He goes in the shower. This is Eric Andre. He goes in the shower, forgets the shampoo, the conditioner, the soap. And then at this point, once he's in there, he's already naked. He's whatever, and now he creaks the door. And now he just wants to peek a little eye, ask for the shampoo and the conditioner. Now he's it's like I'm not in character anymore. If I do it now, I might be sexually harassing you.
Yeah, man. He was super dope, man. And he called me a legend, man.
He was a
legend, right?
And I think one of the coolest things too that Eric Andre did, for you as well is he was willing to take that picture with you with your new album, Ungrateful.
And he cut a promo for it too, man, on social media, on Twitter and Facebook. He cut a promo for the album. And I went to sleep on a ride back with you guys home and woke up to literally 1,200 notifications on social media.
That's right.
That was amazing.
Yeah, man.
That was amazing. So since then, I mean, we'll get to your single, but you were also performing at Summerfest, the world's largest musical festival in the world.
Music fest, yeah.
So
in Milwaukee,
in the world.
No, I'm just saying it's in
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
absolutely. So what's that experience like? I mean, are you a veteran of Summerfest already at this point?
Well, last year I should say, last summer was my first year having my complete own set. Before that, I featured with the Rusty Peas, and then the year before that, I featured with Classic. So that year was the first year I ever had my own set. So that was dope, and it was a huge crowd. I opened up for BJ the Chicago Kid, and that was another great experience, man. And just to receive that love from the city like that, lets you know your work is being recognized.
Yeah, well, I mean, the love. I mean, you first of all, you came back to Summerfest, right? This is the second time you're in Summerfest. And just a couple of months ago, the love was shown again because you need to have the fans vote for you for that 88.9 radio, song of the year.
Yeah.
So you needed to have people go on to the website and vote for you. And the competition was long. That list was like,
it was a lot.
It felt like 15 different artists, and different songs. And you were also up for other
Video
awards.
of the year, artist of the year, record producer of the year.
That's incredible. Talk about the versatility. That's incredible. And what we just heard right now was Hot Shit. As we said, it wasn't the song that was the 2017 song of the year, because you've moved on now. You're now looking for the second song of the year. That was titled A Message.
A Message, featuring Bo Triple X. He's a bass guitarist and an artist from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But Hot Shit is a new single. I just released it a couple weeks ago. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, SoundCloud, YouTube, all of that good shit. So
is your music transitioning? I guess I when I heard Ungrateful in the car, because that's really what we were jamming to on the way to Pontiac for the Eric Andre show. I thought it was amazing. Just all the here I am talking about the beats, the texture, the vocals, the lyrics. I was like, holy hell, you have a ton of talent. And I thought it was amazing. And I have no idea how you put all of that together. I like to consider myself, a little bit of a musician, but now I don't want to say that, and I made it out publicly, but
you play guitar to a camera, and then you're the only one that watches it.
That's right. That's right. I'm my own number one fan.
Charging
you
for
really
the feature,
are.
Fritz? You charging for the feature?
I charge myself.
And your hair's crazy, and you let the hair go, and you look depressed.
That's what my music does to me. It puts me in the mood. Depression. Meanwhile, your music, I mean, you have so many different messages that you want to say, but going to a message, what did that mean to you? Did the title reflect anything that you really wanted to say with that song?
I mean, well, that song was, it was a message directed to a lady. It was like me and him was playing tug of war with this chick for her attention, and both of us were sending a message to her that we were both interested. And now it's like we were playing tug of war on a record for her attention. So that record, always I want to show my versatility and show that I'm not like just a rapper. I don't just make beats, I make records. So I want to showcase all of that, from a message. And Hot Shit sounds nothing like a message. It's a totally different record, totally different feel, straight hip hop, rap. A message is more melodic and up tempo and groovy.
It's poetry. It's a story. You're telling a story. I love it.
Right. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Hot Shit is totally different from that, though.
Yeah.
So, well, I was gonna say, what when people think of rappers, they think of Chicago, they think of New York, they think of LA. Tell us about the Milwaukee scene. I know you've been in it for a while, and you've been working with all the artists. Like, is it coming up? Is it hot? It's
definitely coming up, and we got some artists here that's been getting national recognition the last couple of years. So it's opening a lot of different avenues and doors for artists all around the city and the state as well. So I feel like the scene is very progressive right now. It's a real artsy type of dedicated scene that's true to the art and true to the feel of staying true to yourself and staying true to the art that you want to create, instead of whatever is the normal right now or the sound that's out here right now. And that's what I can say about Milwaukee. I applaud it on that note, because everybody is a different individual. Nobody is trying to bite somebody else's steez or jock somebody else's steez. It's all organic and natural, man. So
a lot of teamwork, a lot of people working and collabing. I have noticed that. That's really cool.
Yeah. But we got to keep that up, man, because if we want to be like Atlanta or Chicago or LA, we got to do that, man. We got to come together, because we're like the 36 media market or some shit.
Yeah, it's not very big.
Yeah,
trust
man.
me,
So
we know.
it's
Yeah.
not much we can do here. You know, once you reach a certain ceiling,
Yeah,
you know, it's a lot that you need to
Yep.
go to that next level.
that's very true.
And you saw us as well at one of our second to last major show. It was a comedy show that included a number of artists. One of them being Lana Turner, comedian.
Yes,
So now
Lana.
you're now making music, producing music for her
Yeah,
show. Tell us about that.
I'm the new music director for her new show, the Perfect 10 show. So that was awesome, and I want to thank you guys again for kind of connecting those dots and getting me in that building that night, man.
We do, it's easy when you see talent and you
Yeah.
want to just put talent together.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just makes
And
too much
Lana's
sense.
great. Yeah, Lana's so funny, and
Yeah, Lana
she's
is
up and
awesome,
coming.
man.
Yeah,
She is, man.
it's really exciting stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. So, and you guys have potentially a movie in the works.
Yeah, she's with Ralphie passing recently.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things she's dealing with right now,
Yeah.
and a lot of traveling she's doing right now.
Yeah.
So in the next couple of months, we got a couple meetings lined up and some stuff we're really excited about. So I'm just praying for her, you know, and her family and her kids, and hopefully she can keep her head up and keep writing that good shit that got her here.
Yeah, that's Ralphie May. For those who don't know, he was winner of the Last Comic Standing long time ago. He's been a stand-up comedian for a while, and he just passed away. And they were divorced, but it was still, she talks about it in her podcast and all of her work. It's not fun going through that, that's for sure. But
her two kids have been, they've been really resilient through it as well. She does anything that she can for those two kids.
Yeah, man. But she's got a great story, and I'm rooting for her. Not
Absolutely.
just because I'm working with her and I'm her music director now, but because she's talented and she's a great person, and I want to see her succeed.
Yeah.
And I want to help her succeed.
Yeah. So tell us about Ninja Sauce. How did you find this talented group of people? I mean, did they find you? Did you find them? Or did you guys grow up together in the crib?
Okay, well, Ninja Sauce is my backing band when I do live shows and performances. Ninja Sauce is always backing me, and they play all my music live. But to answer one of your questions, Maurice Buck, as we call him, he's my bass player, and that's my little cousin. Even though he's like 6'3" and way bigger than me, he's still my younger cousin.
Okay.
So I've known him for life. And Warren Crawford, my grandmother is a pastor, a longtime pastor in the church. So Warren, he's a drummer in the city, and he does different things like that. So I've been knowing him from coming up in the music scene and from my family members and stuff. And then my keyboardist and background vocalist, John Caldwell, Bart Caldwell, as we call him. He just turned 21 on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been, he's like my protege, and I've been bringing him along and, showing him some stuff and keeping him, with high hopes and letting him know that, it's possible. And when I succeed, he succeeds. So we're all in it together, and Ninja Sauce is awesome, man.
Yeah.
And I love what we got, and we've been working and traveling together for a couple years now, and we got some big stuff coming up as well.
Do they also perform in your albums as well?
Yeah, like I love live instrumentation, so I might whip up a new beat and shit and call Buck like, hey, you got some time, you got an hour, come to the studio, bring the bass, throw a bass lick on top of it or something, or call John, I need some keys, fluff it up a little bit for me, come for a half hour and just lay some keys over some stuff. Or Warren, which is my drummer, he'll send me some live chops. I've been working on some chops. Let's see if you can use some of them. So I might use some of the live drum chops, because I like to keep that live, energetic, musical, melodic feel. So having them as a safety valve to say, come thicken this up a little bit, come add this, it really helps. And the live performance factor with them is amazing.
Yeah. Now I've seen one of your videos, at least, is filmed in Chicago.
Boo.
You're from Chicago.
I know. That's why I'm booing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
At least I had the Jabari Parker jersey.
For sure. You're still repping. You're still repping. But have you been able to take your talent along with Ninja Sauce outside of the Milwaukee you know, area into you know, other states to have
Absolutely.
others hear, you know, your
Yes.
talents?
This summer that just passed, we did Indie Fest in Kansas City, which is a big Spotify independent artist festival in Kansas City. So we did that in when was that, John? Was that like October? October. So October, Kansas City. We did Chicago. We've done the Drake relays in Des Moines, Iowa. And we got some stuff lined up in a couple months that I won't talk about right now.
Okay.
The end of the year, that's even bigger. So
okay, he said it here, folks. He will not disclose secret information.
hey, you know, some of those deals aren't landed yet, so
Okay.
you know they're in the works.
All
but,
right.
you know.
Well, if it shows that, you know, you're an individual that doesn't sit back and let things you know, just things don't come to you. You make things happen.
Oh,
you
yeah.
make
Yeah.
luck work for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's funny, like when we did the Eric Andre thing, the way it worked was Eric's booker was looking for guests. He just needed guests for the live show. And I reached out to random people that didn't know me. Vincent was one of them. Kind of knew me a little bit
Yeah,
through
a little
a
bit.
network. We
Yeah.
had kind of circles, but like you went, it was just funny, man. Like you went on was like a 6-hour car ride with two dudes you didn't know who were atheists, and we're like, hey, yeah, Eric's looking for atheist guests, and you know, and rapping guests or rapper guests, and yeah, and then you just showed up. I mean, that's what it takes, though. Like you really got to show up to some of those things that you don't know. You know what to expect, and yeah, that's what you got to do.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Scared man can't make no money. Right?
Yeah,
that's
true. right.
You got to
That's
do
right.
what you got to do, and for an opportunity like that, man, you know, that's a game changer, man, and it has been a game changer. So
Yeah.
Did your mom, as a female pastor, I'm really interested in hearing about that story.
my grandmother, my mom's mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was a pastor.
Yes.
So she forgave you for jumping into the devil's pit, you know, coming in the car ride with us.
I mean, is it the devil's pit?
We-
Is it the devil's pit?
Apparently, I don't
Did
know.
I
what
miss
Fritz is-
something,
I don't know what Fritz is talking about.
Did I miss some shit?
I don't know.
When I fell asleep.
What are
or
you?
some
Yeah.
shit?
What were you doing when you were driving and we were sleeping?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, well, you know, a couple of atheists, you know, that's, you know, we eat babies, you know, that's
Oh,
we
yeah,
hear that
yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So, you know
Yeah,
how
for
that
sure,
story
for sure,
goes.
for
we're, you know, but you know, going to that that piece, you know, pastors you know, are storytellers.
mhm.
Were you able to pick up any of those talents that she was demonstrating and put it into your art, or seeing a connection, or is it just
Absolutely, especially her musicianship, because she's a pianist, she's a live vocalist, she can sing on the fly, come up with lyrics on the fly. But more than that, you know, she's a great oral speaker. She's a great, you know, she can speak in front of people, and I always admire that about her. She always had so much courage. She'll go out of town in Houston, Texas, and perform or preach, I should say,
Yeah.
in front of 3 times the audience she would preach at home, and tear it down even harder. So
Mhm.
for me to see that courage from a woman, a strong woman at that, and watching her my whole life, growing up in church every Sunday, she's playing the keys and singing and shit, and I'm like, she is dope, man. Like, and it's
That's
my
awesome.
grandmother. Like,
That's
that's
awesome.
in me somewhere.
Yeah.
And somehow I dug in there and found it.
Yeah. Does she come to your live performances as well in the front
No.
row? No, she won't sit in the
No.
front row.
She won't do it.
Absolutely not. No. Like, she was thinking about coming to Summerfest, like
Okay.
something like that. But when I'm hitting the club and it's like, you know, 800 hoochie mamas, you know, shaking that ass, Snapchatting that pussy.
Sounds like a problem, Vincent. A good problem to have, right? Speaking of which, you know, you've got all this attention being brought to you. Do you have anyone that happens to, you know, get more of your attention?
I mean, you know,
What are you asking
gonna-
if he's
I'm-
dating?
No,
somebody?
no.
I
I mean, you could pull. Who was it that? Who was it that just did the interview and then just walked off? It was ESPN.
No, I don't know.
He did Ray Charles. Who acted as Ray Charles?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Foxx, yeah.
Yes, that's what he did. He was asked about his relationship.
And he just walked off.
And he just walked off right on stage. I think it's Stephen A.
That's hilarious.
If I'm not mistaken, asked him about his relationship, and he just walked off. That was his answer. I'm just gonna walk off. I'm just gonna, take this off now, and we're done with the interview.
Wow.
So I'm glad you didn't do that, Vincent. I know
here. The ladies.
I appreciate that you're still here.
I'm a ladies man. I'm a ladies man.
All right. Well, what about Unify Records? How long have you been partnering with Unify?
Well, Unify Records, I've been partnered with Unify for 3 years now. 3 years officially. The first year was like leg work and seeing if the relationship could work. My manager, Dima, is the owner of Unify Records. And that's what I was talking about, John. John is now a part of that team and, helping with my management and keeping my life normal and shit. So I'm not doing so much.
So he's making sure that this interview is okay. Is this part of the Unify connection here? That's why John's here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the muscle.
That's why he's got the scissors.
He's
on
the muscle. he was shaking his head. I think when I asked you about the little lady friend, you follow directives.
He knows a lot. That's all I say. He knows a lot.
That's funny.
That's awesome. It's always good to
he
have.
Knows a lot.
It's always good to have good people around you.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I know I've been lucky to have good people around me for this, but you got your safety nets as well. It's
absolutely,
good to have,
man. And you guys are,
I love collaborating with you.
And vice versa, man.
And like I said, when you make it big, don't forget about us little people over here at Mythicist Milwaukee. That is Mythicist Milwaukee, folks.
Yeah.
So that you don't forget.
For sure. Well, one of the things, Vincent, like we've pivoted a little. Like we used to focus on more religious topics, atheist topics, things like that. And we started to notice is that's not really a hot button issue anymore. I mean, there's some people that obviously are still interested in it. But it's not like it used to be where it was like heavily debated and people were constantly, going, even in Milwaukee, like if you say I'm an atheist, no one really cares anymore. They really don't. So like what we've been focusing on lately has been more social and political issues. And I was wondering, like in the music world, like has that like affected you at all? Has that like affected some of the messaging you guys have had, or like some of the things you can say in your songs? Or
I mean, I like to speak on the political aspect. YouTube my video Radical, and I'm F-bombing Donald Trump and talking about crooked cops and all of that. So me as a creative, I'm not going to hold back shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to say whatever is on my mind because this is my platform to do that. If you don't want to hear that shit, don't play my record. So me being a creative, I'm going to say whatever, like I said. So to piggyback off what you said, it hasn't really affected me and my message because I'm a fucking hardhead. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And I'm going to say what I want to say and create what I want to create and do it my way. So it doesn't really affect me much at all. No.
Have you seen any other artists that maybe have kind of pulled back a little? Or
I feel like I said, Milwaukee is kind of like really artsy and like true to like what they want to do. So I'm home based, so I see a lot of it here. But like Lord Freddie, he's an artist from here. He has his own thing. I'm not gonna like elaborate because I want you to take it in how you take it in. But like look up Lord Freddie and that'll answer some questions, and look up Radical by Vincent Van Great and that'll answer some questions on like the message that we relay and like how we feel about politics and religion and everything. It's good to talk about that shit. Why be scared about it and hold it in? So I'm gonna let it out all the time.
Yeah, I definitely respect your confidence in and your willingness to speak freely. I mean, the ability to have free speech in this country is seems to be eroding in some areas, but I've always seen that I should say in some arenas of conversation, and I've always seen comedians, for instance. Sean's really the one of the team that really helped mold me into seeing this point of view, but artists such as yourself, comedians, entertainers, they really help push the envelope of thought to society. and also help to normalize, things that may be considered, in some cases taboo. In this case, you're speaking out against, the new administration. You're speaking out against, some certain actions by the police force.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what did that feel like? Because one of our conversations here is, what impact does social justice activism have on the African American community? That's one of our
Mm-hmm.
topics for our conference. How much did the ideas of social justice come or influence you to create that song?
A lot, because like I said, this is my platform. So some people don't. My mom always says, since I start, making a name for myself and gaining some momentum, she always says, remember who you are and speak for those who don't have a voice. So that's what I feel like when I make a song like Radical. And to backpedal a little bit, it's like negative. It's always backlash. I should say, I had to gather my thoughts a little bit. It's always backlash. Like on my fan page, a woman like, if you can handle 8 years of old bummer, you can deal with a little Trump action or something. And then another person comments on there like, oh, this fucking garbage and your hate message. But I'm like, if it's garbage and you're just totally avoiding, you're making it about Trump and Obama, and I'm showing clips on this video of police officers beating ass and giving people the boot and clubbing people's heads off, and why is it we're missing a point here? And at the beginning of the video, it says like, this isn't a shot at the government, this isn't a shot at police, this is taking a shot at the things that are causing people in my community to feel outraged and feel this way. That's what I make it for, because Lil Ray off Keith, he doesn't have a voice. Nobody doesn't give a damn what he has to say. But if Vincent is saying exactly what Ray is thinking, somebody might take it different and might pay attention to it a little more.
Yeah, and I think that that's a good point as well, because in any avenue, anything that anybody does, there's good and there's bad.
Yep.
There's
pros and cons.
Yeah, there's great doctors, there's terrible doctors, there's great lawyers, terrible lawyers, and so forth.
Great principles and terrible principles.
That's true. That's true. I think what you mean is that there are good principles and bad principles to live off by.
Sure, that's
right?
what I meant.
Right?
That's what I meant. No, but I like see, that's one of the critiques I have in a lot of forms of entertainment. Sometimes, people just make stuff just to be poppy, just to be whatever, and I've always appreciated things with messages. And, even if I don't agree with the message, I love that someone's trying to make the message. Someone's trying to, share their prerogative. And that's always like inspired me. And I think that's what Fritz was kind of saying with entertainment. Like, we shouldn't filter what we want to say just because we think it may upset some people. Like, if you have a bad idea, people are going to shoot it down. If you have a good idea, I think those rise to the top, and so I applaud you for doing that and keep doing that. That's awesome.
And same to you guys, man, because what you do is what you guys' message is. Like you said, you were doing the atheist thing and all that. People, they don't buy into that shit all the time. So for you, that's individuality to me. That's you having your own thought process and not being brainwashed as to what society wants you to be or something. So I applaud you guys for that as well.
I appreciate that. I mean, it only takes about 8 different bunkers to get into this enclosed area that we're in right now, which we call our studio. Communicate through satellite connections to the outside
I
world.
just said that no one cares about atheists. They really, I mean, obviously in some countries in the world, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, I mean, they have big problems, but pretty much in the West,
we've got first world problems here.
Like if you're Muslim, if you're Buddhist, if you're Mormon, like pretty much no one cares, like really. And I'm not saying there aren't areas even in our country where it's still a problem. I totally get that, but for the most part, it's improving, and I think people are moving toward this more political or, social conversation of what you can say, the Me Too movement. I mean, Jesus Christ, I work at one of the most conservative companies probably in Milwaukee, and like even my directors know what the Me Too movement is. I mean, that's how big it's gotten, and how much people are just really concerned about what they say and what they do. You know, like and so
okay. So with that idea, you have one full album, which we mentioned is Ungrateful. You have one single right now that has come out, Hot Shit, but you're working on creating this full album. What's that transition? Are you transitioning as we are right now from whatever it is? You know, I mean, I don't want to speak for you and how you describe Ungrateful or what it meant to you or what it means to you or the message that you wanted to give with that. But are you transitioning to a different message or style for this new album to be?
Definitely. With Ungrateful, it was, very hip hop oriented and showing like my roots and like what I feel hip hop is. Like that's what Ungrateful is about. Next, I'm working on this joint EP / album with Dana Kappa. He's another unified artist, but we're working on like a joint EP with, a lot of my production and me rapping, him rapping. And then it's like an A side and a B side. So the B side is like really melodic and really like fresh and like appeasing to women and stuff. And that's like this transition I'm going to with my next album. Is going to be like really oriented for women, really woman friendly, female friendly, I should say. Is going to be very, catchy, very uppity, upbeat, poppy kind of thing, but not corny. You know what I mean? Because when you say poppy, people automatically think it's like some corny shit.
Yeah.
But that's not like the pop I grew up on, So, and it's also me fusing my hip hop roots with this new sound that I'm making. So it's not really a new message, but it's just more of like a new style. Like you said, it's me transitioning into more of a more mature Vincent Van Great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, and I mean this in a very positive way. You're a musical nerd, okay? So, I want to ask you a nerdy question.
Okay.
So, what software do you use? Because I tried to use Reason.
I was using Reason like 800 BC.
Oh, see, so there you go. so there you go. So I had Reason at one point back in 800 BC. And,
he is
and
from 800 BC.
I could never master Reason to begin with.
No, Reason was dope. Reason was dope when it was dope. But I use Machine right now to make my records, and I use Machine for the entire Ungrateful. So look into that.
Yeah. So I
might resurrect those juices you got flowing in there.
I will look into it, from the
Machine
aisle
studio.
at the
Guitar Center.
We got to get you in Vincent's studio. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be
just
amazing.
To see, like your guitar, like
I was
that
gonna
would
say,
be
amazing. We got to videotape it. We got to live. We got Instagram stories. It's gonna be
that'll be fantastic. That'll be fantastic. You'll hear after it too.
Oh man,
you'll get it after it.
Frizz gonna be killing their ass, man.
But so
he's gonna be crying.
So with the guitar in my hand. So the follow-up question then is, who taught you to utilize that software? Did you have a mentor that you look up to that is Mammoth a local legend?
Mammoth is definitely a local legend. A lot of people that are recording and buzzing here in the city, they probably record at Mammoth. Mammoth is an audio engineer. He's another musical Poindexter, as I call him. He can do everything. He plays live instruments, but recording, that's all Mammoth. And using a Machine, Mammoth 100% showed me the ins and outs of Machine, showed me the tricks and the all the inside scoop on that and how to manipulate certain sounds and all of that. So Mammoth definitely. Charlie Cooks.
All right. Well, is there anything that you can share that's coming up? Can I get a lead? Can Mythicist Milwaukee get something
exclusive?
Think about it.
Something exclusive.
Now you got to look over here at John because he's You gotta look over here, you know, because he's gonna give you the eye. He's gonna.
You will get a Vincent Van Great and Dana Copperfield EP in July.
Okay.
August.
All right. All right.
September.
I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna put you on this. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Vincent. Why does 88.9 hate on us so much?
Ooh.
Oh man, you went there. You went there.
I'm just kidding. 88.9.
Well,
you are Vincent's the golden child. Vincent.
I'll tell you this.
88.9's golden child.
I'll tell you this.
Only Milwaukeeans know what
once that comes out, you know, we'll definitely we'll find some way to include you know, that track into, you know, MythCon 5.
Absolutely.
We'll find a way to
oh yeah, for sure. And it would be kind of a good idea if we could play your music there, because we're always looking for music.
Man, definitely.
As long as you don't copyright strike us.
Oh no, I won't, man. Definitely not.
Sweet.
But what I was gonna say, like, who made that beat when the shit was coming on, like the intro beat?
Oh, like for our regular show?
Yeah.
The new that was actually one of our other engineers.
Did he made that?
Yeah,
Josh?
he created that,
Josh.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Now,
if it wasn't one of y'all homies, I was gonna be kind of pissed off. Like,
well,
got the show jumping off and then hit Young Van Great for the instrumental.
I will say that for like the first year, we had we ended up getting copyright struck for it, even though it was supposedly, you know, free to utilize. It was just a standard.
It wasn't intro. A strike. It wasn't. It was just a claim. A strike is your channel's done.
Yeah.
So
it was a claim. It was just a claim, you know.
So then we had to stop using it. But then Josh had created this. He had dabbled into you know, creating beats as well, and we like that one, so we use it now. So
dope.
All right, I'll let Josh know that that a local artist that, you know, writes number one hit singles in Milwaukee just you know, gave him props for his beats.
Yeah.
Well, Vincent, this has been an honor for us as well.
Same here,
again,
man.
coming off 2017 Milwaukee Radio Song of the Year, A Message. You know, Vince Van Great continuing to grow, continuing to you know, expand his repertoire, and doesn't stop. And we want to continue growing with you. And whatever path we go down, we'll bring you along. And we hope that whatever path you go down, you know, you don't forget about us. And
y'all know it, man. It's going down.
You have a, you know, I mean, I'd like to be able to go to the pool party that you throw, you know, at that mansion.
I see a couple of them Snapchat you that that nugget. that pool party, right, Fritz?
Oh, that'd be amazing. Thank you again. Thank you again, Vincent.
Thank you guys, man, for everything, for the support, for the continuous support at that. And thank you guys for all the opportunities and for all the love that you show, man.
We love you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Love you guys too, man. Always.
All right.
Sav's crew, Vincent Van Great.
Yep.
Spotify, Apple Music, Ungrateful, Hot Shit, A Message, YouTube me, Google me, tell your girlfriend about me, all of that.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
All right. Goodbye.
Bang, bang.